Hi guys, this is DJ RSMF88 speaking with an update on the yard, on the main layout. Now first of all I'd like to start off by saying I hope you all had a good Christmas and a happy New Year. I've certainly had a good Christmas and a good New Year as well. I've got a few new additions to show in another video. They're mostly wagons, but as you know I did get the Sentinel just before Christmas, which I did a review on Christmas Day. If you haven't seen that, please do check it out. That's a new Hornby Sentinel, by the way, the SO one. Brilliant model. What else have I done? Well, I've got a few wagons that I purchased just before Christmas, and I'm sure they will feature another update as well. Also, I've done a best of 2013 video, so please do check that out. It's basically all my best model railway videos, including some Compton Martin updates briefly. Basically, it's like a little best of video where I just show a few snippets of clips and stuff, which I filmed throughout 2013 with a, music in the background. Basically, a bit like a channel trailer, and I am actually going to use it as my channel trailer for 2014 until I make a new one, sort of thing. For the time being, it's actually pretty good, so please do check that out. Anyway, on to the yard update. Now, as you know, not much has changed at all. Nothing has changed at all. As you know, I got a massive weathering commission. You've probably seen the first video of the weathering, which basically just showed some pictures. There will be another picture video to come with the rest of the fleet that I did, because that was only a third of the fleet for this guy that I was weathering up. So there'll be a few more pictures with a bit more music of that to come, and then that will be followed by a running video. By a running video, I mean I got the locomotive and all the wagons that I painted up, and I filmed them going around this layout. I temporarily cleaned this section of track at the back on the outside loop, and I ran it. And so please do check it out, because it's awesome. It's basically I weathered up the locomotive. I weathered up was a Batman Super D, and it's hauling 8 Ball-Tight, BR Ball-Tight, I think that's how you pronounce it, 16 tonners. Then it had 4 Hornby 20-ton C and S and C hoppers. Then that was followed by oh, I forgot at the front there was a Dapol GWR 20-ton steel-sided wagon for loco coal. That was at the front. And then behind the hoppers there were 4 grey 16-tonners. And then on the back was a Queen Mary, all of which I weathered up by hand with paints and powders. So do check out that video when it comes, because it looks awesome. It's such a... I've never actually weathered a whole train before. By whole train, the loco wagons a lot. I haven't even weathered any of my stock, because the thing is, my weathering's been quite popular. That people seem to... I won't say that. I would say that all the weathering I've done so far has been for other people. It hasn't been for myself, sort of thing. So I must weather up some of my stock at some point. Oh, I do own one item of weathered stock that I've done, which is the 45XX, which, as you know, I couldn't let that go, considering that was my first weathered loco. But anyway, I digress. On to the actual update. So basically, with all this weathering and stuff I've been doing, I haven't had time to do anything to the layout whatsoever. Only things that I've done is I've removed a bit more of the ballast and started putting some ideas down. So this update video really is going to show plans what I have for the yard. So let's start with the stuff I've removed. Now here there was a grass area along with that bush still needs removing, and also there was a signal box there. It's down on the floor behind me, but it's only a little card signal box. It was quite old, so I removed that. What the plan is there is to build sort of like a hill, a rock face in a way, up there, all the way up to the line you can see on the wall. Reason for that is because, as you know, there's the aqueduct there, and another thing I removed was the tunnel mouth for the aqueduct on this side. Many people have been commenting on my videos, a few people saying it makes really no sense with those aqueduct portals there. Obviously, I would like to do a hill, but I never got round to it. And also the track is in the way, as you can see if I zoom in there. You can see where the track originally was there, so it's quite close. So the plan is to build up a hill, rock face, cliff face. It'll probably be a bit of both. Merge it in from there. Obviously I want to improve that as well. I'm not sure I will, because it's I'll explain a bit later about why it's taken a bit of a while as well. But yeah, I plan to build a rock face or a hillside along there. Sort of giving the effect that the canal curved around and went off into the distance, sort of thing. I don't think I'll be putting back scenes on, purely because every time I put back scene up in here, it tends to always get damp, which is really bad. I hate the dampness up in here. It's well insulated, but it's mostly that metal girder, which, as you know, I've been having a hell of a problem with all the way along there, and it's causing so much, you know, look, you can see that there. I ripped the other one down because it was mouldy, but as you can see, that one, because of the extremely bad weather we've been having over the past few months, as you know, with all these storms and flooding and stuff, the damp is really wreaking havoc, and as you can see, it is actually starting to warp, so that will have to be covered up with wood. I plan to put a big wooden panel by hammering it onto that wooden support up there and covering that metal bit there, and then hopefully I plan to continue on with a thin bit all the way along there. But I'm not too sure if it will work though, purely because the overhang from the RSJ is over the track. So if I put a bit of wood down, it probably ends up covering up that track, which I am not sure what to do in that sort of situation. So anyway, but back to the aqueduct. I plan to, instead of having the tunnel there, give the optical illusion that the aqueduct, the canal runs along there and goes off into the distance. The actual hill should come out to about where that track is there. That was the two good sidings. You see it comes off from that, a pair of points there, which was there. You could just about make out the sleepers, and then it split there again, and they both went along to a good shed down there. Now the plan is now that the embankment or rock face will come out to where the back track was. That track will be there, and a pair of points, which you can see there, will be installed there in front of that pair of points. So there'll be a pair of points here, which will then go to another pair of points there. So there will still be two sidings there. But the back siding will only go to the split in the board there, like a little short good siding, and the other one will continue its original length all the way down to the back, basically, which you can just see there. That means I got more room to put a rock face there to create a whole sheer rock face, which comes down there, giving the optical illusion the canal actually did go into a tunnel there. And then obviously there'll be a bit of wood on the back, and I might continue it around the back a bit, rock face, I'm not too sure. But anyway, back to this pair of points down here. This will be, I need to get a few little sections of track, like that little piece there which is ballasted, but that's a bit damaged, so I've got to get another one, which will go in there. Then there'll be a radius 2 or radius 3 half curve, which will go there. It'll go into a straight, then that pair of points there will go there, which will then lead into another pair of points, which I just mentioned, with those two little short and long good sidings. The longer one will go into the good shed, which will be there. Then this basically will continue like it originally did. Pair of points there, inspection pits, and the straight one goes straight into the engine shed. The other one goes onto the inspection pits, straight into an engine shed, and then instead of having two sidings there, there'll be the one which will be like a coal yard. So basically I have my coal hopper thing back there with piles of coal, and I'll hopefully have all the 16 tonners being shunted into there. So basically I'll be simplifying it, and I'll only really be losing one siding and shortening that one, but it gives so much more room for detail. Now, plans for the aqueduct. One, I've got to repair some of the missing slabs which have come off, and two, it looks brilliant, but the only problem is it doesn't really look like an aqueduct, purely because, as you can see, there's no archways. Well, there is archways, but you know, it doesn't go all the way through. So what I plan to do is fold some of this up. I know the bricks will sadly be facing the wrong way, but the thing is the sheets aren't big enough to go the other way. So they'll basically be long brick upwise sort of thing. I'll roll some of those up. I'll glue some sleepers inside there to make sure they don't fan out towards the back, because there's no supports at the back. It's just, that is just the face of it. That's all it is. It's only like got arch on one side. As you can probably see the wall back there. Ow, I hit my head on the light. That's not too good. So anyway, I then plan to thread those through, and it'll create arch sort of effects all the way along. In theory, I hope that will work, but it'll give a sort of, it will be quite complicated. I'm not looking forward to really doing it, because I can see it moving about and not looking quite correct, but it should look a bit better than what it does now. Another thing I plan to do before that is get some Woodland Scenics tarmac paint, and paint the whole inside of that to create, so when the things are slotted in, there will be a road coloured surface in there. Also, I'll use it on around the goods yard and around the ends of the sidings and stuff like that. Reason for using that sort of paint is the card looks pretty good, but it's very complicated to cut and glue down, and you always got little join lines, you can probably see there. Also, I'm running low on that at the moment. And the other thing is, I would like to use that really thick paint that I used on Compton Martin, which is really effective. The only problem is, it's quite hard to find, and two, I have to repaint it anyway after it's gone down, because the colour is rubbish. It's basically really light grey. So, and the thing is that sometimes the paint doesn't go shiny and stuff on it, so blah, and I've only got a little bit. I might use the little bit in here or I might just keep it in case Compton Martin needs a touch-up, which will probably be best. So I might just paint this like the Tarmac Woodland Scenics colour, depending on how bad the chipped wood looks, because as you can see, chipping away the ballast chips away some of the wood. But it might that might help in giving an uneven yard surface with the normal paint. When I do that, I'll probably end up ripping up all this as well to the level crossing, but I'm not sure how I'm going to blend it into the level crossing though, which is the only problem. So I might just leave it sort of around this area. I honestly don't know. In fact, I might use card on this area, purely because, as you can see, it's very, very narrow towards the end of the siding, and in theory, trucks are supposed to go around there. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably use card and cover up the track and create a bit like a Compton Key effect, but with card. Sort of like that, but obviously better. And doing that. Then I'm going to use Woodland Scenics medium ballast, a medium grey ballast blend, and cover the whole area. I'm going to do it all the way along there to create the two main lines, because I'm going to do the two main lines together to make it look like they're proper main lines, and maybe a little grass strip in between the branch line to show that there is difference between the main line and the branch line. I replaced those two pairs of points. I'm not sure if I showed you that. Those are now Pico. I removed the Hornby ones. I might use the Hornby ones in the yard. I know they're atrocious, but the thing is, doing this weathering, it's shown me how much little time I have to do these sort of big projects. With Compton Martin, I had nothing stopping me, and I enjoyed doing it. I was in sixth form, and I basically had quite a bit of free time to myself to do it in holidays and stuff like that. But now that I'm sort of working, and also looking for a job as well, like a proper full-time job, it's actually, and doing these weathering commissions, it's getting really, really hard to find the time to do stuff, which is quite annoying. And in theory, I would love to take up the whole layout and totally redo it. But the thing is, it's just the time constraints I've got, and also the fact that, you know, I'm 19, and I gotta get a job and all this sort of thing, and there's the possibility that within 5 years I may, I'll be probably most likely leaving home, within a couple of years or stuff. So then I won't have very much time to it, and it'd be, well, really a waste of money redoing all of it, and two, it'd just be sad to see it on, leave it basically. And I'd rather redo a whole new layout to start off with, sort of thing, where I moved to, sort of thing. So what I'm planning on doing, in short, is redoing this to a good standard, not just below Compton Martin standard, I reckon, purely because it saves money. It'd be a bit easier, sort of thing, and also it's very, very hard to bring certain things up to standard. In really, really crude terms, it's hard to polish a turd. So yeah, that's the only way to say it. I mean, it does the job. It looks brilliant. I mean, I'm sure if any of you could back me up on this, but when you see my running videos, do you think my layout looks pretty good scenic wise? So tell me what you think, because I would really love to go full out, like Compton Martin style, all the way around. But the thing is, it's going to cost so much money, so much materials, and so much time, which I'm very, very short of. And that's another thing. Ironically, when the guy comes to pick up his weathering, which you'll see in the video, as I mentioned at the beginning, sort of thing, I talked to him on the phone, and I was going to say, look, they took up quite a lot of time. They cost a bit more to do, because they obviously had to buy materials than I expected, sort of thing. So I may, not want to do them anymore. But before I could say that to him, he was such a nice chap. He is such a brilliant chap to talk to, sort of thing. And before I could say, well, I might not be able to do it, he's like, oh, I got a Colic Goods, I got a 14XX, I got these wagons, I got this and that, I would love you to weather them up for me. And I was like, oh no, sort of thing. But so yeah, tell me what you think of my weathering, please do that. I've been putting it on RM Web, I've been getting quite a lot of feedback on there, I've been putting it on Facebook, and I've been getting quite a lot of feedback on there, sort of thing. So basically what I plan to do with the whole yard, back to the yard again, I keep on digressing, but plan is to upgrade this end, because I've never really liked the look of this end. It's always, I sort of half-assed rushed this end when I did it originally. Plan to bring the yard and all that up to sort of a good scenic level detail with proper ballasting. Maybe the track as well will be ballasted, and the yard down here, sort of thing. I might keep this sort of area around here, although it's a bit of a mix match and the tunnel looks atrocious with a bit of card, which I did literally like back 10 years ago now, nearly 7 years ago, I don't know, whenever when the layout first entered service, in a way. And I might keep the rock face as it is, purely because I want to run my trains. because I can't run Compton Martin purely because it's just too big to operate. I would love to operate up in it, but it's too big to operate in the loft. Compton Key I could operate downstairs, but it was quite hard to get the lighting correct for it. And also it's only a small layout. I would love to run my Somerset and Dorset stuff, which, as you know, I love my Somerset and Dorset fleet. And of course, all my other big locos. Yeah, but the thing is, I can't run them on Compton Martin or on Compton Key, purely because they have small copplers. No, they don't have, they do have small copplers, sorry. They don't have copplers on the front, and two, they're just too big for the layouts in general. So yeah, I really want to get, I've had about 3 months of not running this. I really would love to, apart from the weather train obviously, but I'd really love to get back to running trains in general, and of course doing layout to layout services, even if that means that I'm running it on the layout as it is now and I'm not too pleased with the detail. But please do tell me what you think. But this area definitely will be upgraded. I've already ripped it up. If I knew I was going to do all this weathering and all this stuff in the time, I would have thought, I would have gone, nah, I won't bother, sort of thing. But I thought it'd be great to do, because you love my Compton Martin updates. I thought, wow, I'd love to do some more updates. It's a shame to see those Compton Martin updates gone. I kind of got a bit, went with the flow and sort of thing and started doing it, and now I'm sort of stuck with it. I can't sort of leave it as it is. But anyway, I'm sure it'll work out. There will be updates to come. I'm not sure how often these updates will be. As you know, progress is extremely slow, and I'm having trouble getting the materials at the moment, purely because New Year's Day, there's a few shops closed, sort of thing, blah 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 blah. And also, work and trying to get out to the shops to buy the stuff, and obviously I've got to get the money to buy the stuff, so there we go. But yeah, there will be reviews, locomotive reviews and all that to come. Hopefully I will have to get the layout going for some of the bigger locos that I have my eyes on. Now I have Nike set at the moment, but Hornby 2014 releases were very good. No Somerset and Dorset stuff, but there were 2 items, locomotive items, that really tempted me, and I thought, well, they would be nice. So I'm saving up for those, and of course doing all this. But anyway, sorry this update was a bit longer. I was only thinking that there was nothing really to show you, and I've managed to get an 18-minute video out of it almost. So anyway, this has been SDJR, SenF88 speaking, and thanks for watching.